Hey there, good, wholesome, beautiful people. Welcome to Peeling the Onion. My name is Elvar. I'm coming directly at you from Reykjavík, Iceland. And I am very happy and excited to be bringing you this episode where I was talking with King Buzzo, Buzz Osborne from the Melvins. This interview was conducted at the end of August last year when he was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, touring with Trevor Dunn on his King Dunn project, where they're doing like acoustic shows. And we just talked general Melvin stuff, and it was great. It was like a phone conversation, and I do hope you like it. I just talked with Buzz again this morning over Zoom. He's in the middle of a tour again. He's now touring the States with Napalm Death and the Melvins, and be sure to check that out. And it's good to be back. I've been away for a little bit, and I'm kind of working on other stuff now, so I'll be doing like a few short recaps with people. And I do hope you enjoy this. All the best.
Hello.
Hey Buzz, Elvar here from Iceland.
Hi, how are you?
Hey man, thanks for doing this. I really do appreciate it, man. So you and Trevor Dunn, you're in the middle of a US tour now. Start in California August 1st, and you're kind of zigzagging across America, ending in Arizona. You're doing like 45 dates in 56 days on this US tour.
Yeah, we're doing 45 shows in the US, and then we're going to Europe, and we're doing 25 more.
Right. Okay.
Right after we're done with this.
You're going straight in October. Okay.
It's straight over there.
Is Pinkus coming with you guys to Europe, or?
No, he is not.
Okay. Are you gonna have opening bands, or?
Yeah, we're having this guy Gareth Turner is gonna open.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
This is actually the Gift of Sacrifice tour, kind of, that was supposed to happen in 2020. That had to be cancelled.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it got canceled because of COVID.
Right. I mean, I've been looking at videos of recent shows on YouTube, and it's great. You guys are doing an absolutely stunning version of Boris. So.
Yeah, it came out good. I mean, it's definitely a different thing that we're doing, but I think for the people that actually bother to come out and see it, they're going to see something much different than what they're used to.
I mean, to me, it's awesome. That's one of the things that we come to expect and love from you guys, like throughout the years, taking these classic tunes and give them such a wonderful overhaul often in a live setting, you know.
Yeah, you know, you do your best.
Sure.
I wrote them all, so.
Sure. So you just released both of the solo albums, This Machine Kills Artist and Gift of Sacrifice, as like a double vinyl.
Yeah.
The first one, that was purely a solo effort, the first one, right?
Yep. And then we're doing we also threw in a picture or a flexi disc into the new record, the re-release.
Right, Sick as a Goat. Is that a new song, or?
Yeah, newer.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one me and Trevor did.
You also just released Eat the Spray, which is essentially the 4 tracks from this 200-copy limited edition I'm Afraid of Everything EP that was released like 2 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
That's great, because I actually hadn't heard that one. I mean, you can often find these on file-sharing websites or YouTube, but there are things that you just cannot find out of the stuff that you guys released, so...
Yeah, maybe someday we'll put it on streaming, but so far we haven't.
Mm-hmm. Are you and Trevor planning to release more stuff together?
Well, we'll see what the future holds. We've got a lot of stuff out there right now. We're in the middle of this tour. It's kind of hard to think about a new album.
Right.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
I don't know that we'll ever be able to do this again. I'm just not sure.
You mean the tour that you're doing with Trevor?
Yeah, I don't know that we'll ever do this again.
Right.
If you don't see it now, you may never see it.
Right. Exactly.
There's no way for me to predict that, oh, yeah, for sure. No worries. You can see it. No problem. I can't say that. You know?
Sure. Yeah, I'm coming to Rome to see you guys, so I'm very psyched about that.
Oh, great. That'll be great.
So you guys just did a split with Boris on Amphetamine Reptile called Twins of Evil recently. That's the first physical release you guys do with Boris, or?
Yes, it's the only release we've done with Boris.
Right. So your side was kind of this remix of the new album opener Did you know when you invited Roy Mayorga to the studio that you would be making a new album, or was it just a jam session that went really well?
No, we knew we were going to do something with it. I didn't know what, but I didn't realize it was going to turn into what it turned into.
Right.
Not at all. That worked out really good. And very happy about how it came out.
Right. It's also awesome kind of how conservative you are in the writing process and how you've been assembling guys to record with you, It's like...
Oh, we've done a lot of records, so there's room for everything.
Yeah, but like definitely not all artists are as, open to new stuff as you guys are, so...
We're very open to new stuff. We're not very conservative when it comes to that sort of thing.
Right. I was wondering, like, how big of a hand has Toshi been in the creative process of the music? Because I see he has contributed somewhat instrumentally on some albums throughout the years.
Creatively, maybe in the production department, but not in the songwriting department.
Mm-hmm.
The songwriting is 99.9% of it has come from me.
Mm-hmm. Like he usually or always mixes the albums since you started working with him, or?
What now?
Does he usually or always remix the albums also, or mix them, I mean?
Yeah, he'll do, we'll do the basic tracking, and then we'll go back and he'll mix it, yeah.
Right. So what was it? Because you started working with him in the early 2000s, first on Hostile Ambient Takeover, I think. What was it you remember in the way he went about things that made you realize that you'd like to continue that collaboration?
He's easy to work with. I like his ideas. He's not afraid. He likes working with us. All those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
He just does a good job, and I see no reason to move on from that,
He used to be an analog engineer. He switched over to digital around the time you moved into the Song of Siren. Or do you remember?
Yeah, we've done records both ways,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of, I'm not stuck on any one way of doing anything.
Right. So this new album has it's the second studio LP in a row to feature a super long opening track. Is that a trend you think you'll continue?
Well, we did that on our Lysol record, which is over 30 years ago. So, yes, it's a trend that we'll continue doing.
And that opening track, it showcases your psychedelic side, definitely. And it's awesome how you guys have always worn your influences on your sleeves. Like you did that throbbing Gristle album last year.
Yeah, I love that stuff. So I have my tastes are very broad.
Didn't you start working on that album a long time ago, originally?
Which record?
The throbbing jazz Gristle funk hits.
Oh yeah. We started working on that a long time ago. Years ago. I'm not even sure how long ago. Long before it came out.
Was there a reason why it took so long for it to come out, or did you just shelve it for a while?
Sometimes you just can't get to things as soon as you want to. Other stuff, it was definitely something that wasn't finished, and so when we eventually finished it, then we put it out as soon as we could. But you can't. Me and Jesse and we had to get all that stuff together, and we had a lot of things around, like with touring and with making other records and things so it all has to line up.
Mm-hmm. So this EP you did last summer with Helms Ali.
Yeah.
That's got a Husker Du cover and a Scorpions cover, and then this version of At the Stake. Are the two other tracks originals, or how's that?
One is a Helms Ali song and one is original.
Okay.
That EP came out great. I really like the Data Control version on there. I think is really good.
Right.
I love that record.
Gary Chester, he played on that one too, right?
Yep, he played some on that record. I'm a big fan of Gary's. I have been for a long time. I've liked Gary and known Gary for over 30 years. So it's nice to have that be the case. And I think he's a great player, and it's good to have him on a record.
It's insane. Like, you guys are now 40 plus years into your career, and you released a I don't know, 35 albums or something, not counting all the EPs and singles and splits and live albums and what have you. And you've written and recorded close to 500 songs, and you're still coming out on such a strong note. I
have a new album done. I have a new album demoed, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Is that for the Melvins?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mackie, she did the cover for the new album, Tarantula Heart.
Yeah.
I felt there was slight stag connection, because there are pictures of trees in the artwork for both albums, and also like flowers on the back of the new LP that reminds me of Stag. Was that just a coincidence, or was he doing like a homage?
I just let her do what she wanted. I told her I wanted something that looked gothic, and that's what she came up with. So I think it looks great. I really love it.
Like, what medium is she primarily working on when she's not doing the letterpress stuff?
Illustration, some computer stuff. Usually all of it starts out as a drawing.
Okay.
But I don't hang over her shoulder while she's doing the work. I mean, so how she does it is, basically up to her. With
the letterpress, that's an analog medium. Like every single copy is done by hand. She doesn't make them and then digitally scan them or something, right?
No, they're real letterpress. Every single one.
Right. I mean, that's really
a lot of intense work.
Yeah, it's also like really invigorated your process, because you've been cranking out these special edition like crazy since like 2010 on almost every tour you've done, So
yes, it's a lot of work. It's I think people don't realize how much work.
And most of these, or like maybe all, go straight from your hands to the fans. Like there are no middlemen.
No, they don't go to stores. No letterpress record that we've ever done has ever been sold to a store. Not that we wouldn't, but they're not asking.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I'm not going to go to them. If they don't want to buy them, I don't care. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing.
It's also around that time that Mackie starts doing the letterpress that Hazelmeyer started doing these linoleum cut covers for you.
Yes, he does. They both do. I'm lucky to have two amazing artists that I get to work with.
When it comes to these special editions, how do you decide what to release? Like, do you have a large arsenal of songs finished that you can pick from or choose, or do you usually just go in and play it by ear?
I'm always working on songs. That's not hard. Not all of them are good, but I certainly have plenty of stuff to pick from. So it's just trying to turn them into something that's palatable.
Right.
That's the tough part.
So this year marks Dale 40th anniversary with the Melvins. Did you guys click instantly, both like musically or personality-wise, when you met initially back in the days?
Once he figured out what it is we were trying to do, it was pretty alien to him at first, but he got into it pretty quick.
Like I remember Dale saying in an interview that early on people hated the band. Do you remember the crowd being very split in the beginning?
Oh, long after the beginning.
Right.
We would go on tour with stupid bands like White Zombie, and their audience would just hate us. Or Nine Inch Nails, or Tool, or had lots of bad experiences. But so did when you get to a point where somebody sold 1 million records, their audience aren't going to be, by and large, the brightest packs and the bulbs in the pack. There's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
There's nothing I will do about it. I'm not going to try to. I have no idea what people are going to like. I have no idea. So I'm not going to try to guess.
Sure.
Oh, this is what they want. I have no idea what they want. No idea. And I'm not even going to try. If I start doing that, then I've missed the point completely about what I'm doing. And I'm not perversely trying to make music that people don't like. But, once in a while I see eye to eye with the general public. But by and large, it usually doesn't work out. Not because I don't want it to, but it just doesn't work out,
Would you say that the music scene in Olympia had a big impact on you guys, like as a band at the time? Because you were playing there a lot early on at this place, Tropicana.
Yeah, it showed me what I didn't want to do, that's for sure.
Right, okay. Which was?
I didn't like a lot of the stuff that was happening there. I liked some of the people, but I also didn't like a lot of the people, so... I just felt like there was a big hole in music in general, not just in Olympia, that there was something missing. And I tried to figure out a way to make that work.
Okay.
I think that's what we've done. I mean, our impact on music has changed music on a global level. So I wasn't wrong. Nice to know that.
It's interesting to go back and listen, because I think there are only about 6 months between the Deep Six compilation and the 6 songs EP, but there's already like this very stark change between like even the slower songs on the Deep Six and the songs on that first 7-inch, like you turn the metronome way down. Was that something like predetermined, or did it just start to, was it just the vibe when you were jamming?
At the same time. Those songs were all probably written around the same time. So I didn't write all those songs between Deep Six and the first 7-inch. I had those songs already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting to hear the change, in the tempo and.
Well, I mean, but we were already doing that. They just didn't end up on those other songs could have easily ended up on the Deep Six record. They just didn't.
Okay. When you were writing those early records, did you write the riffs on your own, or did you come up with ideas while jamming with the band?
No, I write all that stuff on my own. Almost nothing comes from jamming. Some, but not much.
Okay.
Once in a while, but not often.
Would you say that like deciding to move down to San Francisco, like in the late 80s, was like a big catalyst for you? Because you got in touch with Boner and like,
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it was the best move I ever made. Best thing I could have ever done.
Right.
It led me to where I'm at right now. If I had not done that, I never would have met my wife. I never would have done any of these things that have changed my life completely, and all for the better. I never liked it. I mean, I liked Seattle fine, but a lot of the big wheels in the music industry up there and people that, the hipster cool people, I never really got along with them. I like some of the guys, I like Mark and Steve from Mudhoney, and a few and the guys from Soundgarden, but I didn't have much of a relationship with the people from Sub Pop or any of that kind of thing, and still don't.
Do you have like a favorite of these like pre-major label mid to late 80s, early 90s Melvins albums?
Oh God, I don't know. My favorites?
Do you have a favorite out of those?
No. I don't know if I could pick. Maybe the Bullhead record, Gully Porch Treatments. I
read somewhere that Bullhead was the first album you did where you had all new songs. Is that correct, or?
That sounds right, yes. You write songs. I mean, this is how it works. It's like they might have been new songs, but on the record, but that doesn't mean I wrote them right then,
Okay.
May have wrote them way before. Like, people will say stuff about our records like, Stoner Witch is this, Stoner Witch is that, or not. I like Stoner Witch and I don't like some of your new stuff, and I'll go, well, what songs in particular? And then they'll tell me something, and it's like, well, I wrote that song when I wrote the stuff for Stoner Witch. So people have weird perceptions of how they think if it's on the record and it's a new record, then it's a new song. It's not always the case.
So has that been like throughout the years like that you, when you come up with the songs from albums, that's like new and old stuff combined?
Oh, yeah. There's songs I can't finish, or I haven't been able to finish, that are good, that I just haven't gotten around to figuring out how I'm going to do it.
Right. So is there any other engineer or like producer that you worked with that had like, I don't know, a big hand in either shaping a sound of a particular album, or that you feel brought something very extra special into the sessions that made you really, like them, working with them?
Nothing in particular. I like working with Tosh best of all. I'd like to re-record our 3 Atlantic records. We do a much better job on them now. If there's one thing I could say about, they're recorded correctly, but vibe-wise, they sound a little sterile to me. But, I'm not a good person to ask about that stuff because I'm too close to it.
I mean, it's interesting to hear that this like experimental side started to come through kind of on the Atlantic records with songs like, Pearl Bomb, Spread Eagle Beagle, and, Goose Freight Train, Chevelle. Do you remember like where these elements were coming from?
That stuff all comes from us. It doesn't come from the producers or the engineer. Those are our ideas. They're not their ideas, that's for sure.
Okay.
They're able to record stuff really well as far as that's concerned. But that doesn't necessarily mean, in hindsight, I mean, they're fine. I wouldn't change anything. But if I was going to redo those records now, I think they'd be better.
So, like, are you planning to do that? Like, re-record them?
No. Oh, fuck no.
Okay.
No way.
Did you know at the time when you were doing Stack that you were getting dropped by Atlantic, or?
I thought we would get dropped after the first album.
Right.
I had no idea that they would ever want to do 3 albums. That just made no sense to me. I thought, we'll do one, it won't sell millions, and then we'll move on.
But like you had
So
that
I
kind
was
of
totally surprised.
you had kind of a deal that you could make whatever kind of records you wanted, and they didn't have to release them, but they have to give you the money for them. Wasn't it like something like that?
Yes. You know,
That's a great deal.
that's exactly it. But most bands have that deal. They just do whatever the record label says because they want to be big stars, which is fine. I'm sure if we went to Atlantic and said, tell us what to do, we'll do whatever you tell us, they would have done whatever it is they do. But I just didn't think that kind of thing would work. I thought we were too weird looking and our music was too abrasive and too weird. And I'm not wrong about that.
So after Stag you did Honky, was that done just over like a 5-day period or something, including mixing, or how was that?
Yeah, we did that really quickly.
Do you remember why you decided to knock it out so fast?
Well, that's the amount of time that we had before we had to go on tour. And we had the songs, and we figured, we just did 3 huge productions in the studio. Let's do a quick one. Huge for us, not for most bands, That was it. That was the whole thinking.
So you had stuff written, you weren't writing it on the spot like when you did Honky? Or...
No. The stuff was all done.
Okay.
We didn't write anything on the spot.
Are those like real recordings, the telephone conversations in Laughing with Lucifer?
Oh, yeah. All that stuff's real.
Okay. Because it sounds so, generically. Was this people referring to you guys specifically? Were there like personal messages or?
Yes.
Okay.
By the time we were off Atlantic, everybody that was there when we first got signed was fired. So there was nobody left. So
okay.
Nobody gave a fuck about us there. Not at that point. From the president of the company on down, I think there was one person left in the publicity department that was there when we got signed. Other than that, they were all gone. So not a surprise to me that there wasn't much interest. None of those people gave a shit. And it was already a 3rd album. And we never sold millions of records, so they just lose interest. Just fine, whatever. I mean, the same thing happens on indie labels. Indie labels are worse, actually. I've never understood why people bitch and complain about major labels and there's indie labels to bitch about. Never made any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that a lot talking with musicians that like they haven't gotten paid royalties ever and stuff like that, for sure.
No, it's way worse. 10,000 times worse on an indie than it is on a major. For that kind of rip-off. If you just go by dollar for dollar rip-off, the indies just won't pay anything.
You guys have been lucky, like with Boner and AMRAP, and then Ipecac. You've been lucky with labels.
Yep, happy to have that be the case. They're good people. We really like working with them, and we've worked with them all for a long time. I hope it continues.
Right. I mean, the Maggot actually just turned 25, like 2-3 months ago. So
yes.
How did it come about that you decided to do these 3 kind of at the same time?
Yeah, it just seemed like a big thing. We did the Honky record, did a bunch of touring, and then I was just like, let's do something big. How would you guys, Ipecac, ask them if they'd be interested in doing something huge? And they said, sure, why not? So we actually had 4 records ready. The Colossus of Destiny, that was supposed to be the 4th album. And then we got the idea to do guest stars. So we shelved that and then did the guest stars thing. So that worked out good.
Like the guitar on the bootlegger was recorded by plugging it right into the board, right?
Yeah, right into the board. That's how we did it. Direct, completely direct.
Why did you decide to do it like that?
Well, we wanted a cleaner sound, and we did the Maggot and the bootlegger at the same time, and I wanted to have a completely different experience. So that's what I did.
Right. Have you ever done that since, or do you do that often? Record the guitar like that?
We have done some direct stuff. I've done some direct stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Not always, once in a while.
There were like a few years when you were kind of juggling Phantomas and Melvins. Was that no problem, like schedule-wise?
No, it wasn't a problem. Phantomas didn't do very much, so never have. I doubt we ever will.
Didn't the band kind of...
I really seriously doubt there'll ever be another Phantomas record or another Phantomas show. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
You kind of rejoined for a song like during the few last encores of the tour you just did with Mr. Bungle in Australia with Scott and Trey on stage. We're playing like Experiment in Terror, I think.
Yes, but I just can't see us ever doing anything live again.
Right.
I'd be really surprised if that happens. I could be wrong, but I just don't think so.
Okay. I mean, if Mike would show up with new material, like, would you be up for it if he wanted to do it?
I think Jesus will sooner be resurrected from the grave.
Okay. So, like, you guys have been working with, like, a massive amount of great bass players throughout the year. You've been working with Steven for, like, almost a decade now. What do you feel like Steven brings to the band?
Steven's a great player. I've always been a big fan of Red Cross. He's a good guy. He's willing to do the work that we want to do. There's a million things I like about Steven. Anyone who is a Red Cross fan would know why we were interested in playing with him. If you're not a fan of Red Cross, well, you're just wrong.
I mean, he got his solo album, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Was there never a chance that Boner would put that one out, like with a poster and everything?
No, we didn't even ask.
But is he kind of, because I know, like, for a long time you didn't want to have, like, you know, steady bass players because you had so many problems with that throughout the years. Do you feel like Steven is kind of like your steady guy now? Or, like, is it always just open?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you never know what's going to happen with us. I can't say one way or another. Oh, yeah, that's for sure going to happen. No idea.
You're not doing anything with Dale until the end of the year. Is that when you're going to, like, start recording a new Melvins album or?
Yeah, we got a few things coming out. We got some touring next year that I can't talk about at the moment because we haven't announced it yet. And I'm looking forward to all of it.
You're bringing Cody back for the next Melvins record, or?
Yes, that's absolutely true. Can't wait. 2 drummers, it'll be really fun.
Like, do you know when you'll be out playing Tarantula Heart live?
Well, we'll do, the next tour we do, we'll be playing some of that stuff for sure.
Do you know if you guys are going to be coming to Europe?
We will. We haven't announced it yet, but we will.
Awesome.
Yes.
Did you and Toshi do like a session recently with 2 of the guys from Napalm Death? Did that happen?
Yes. And that will be coming out sometime in the new year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other bands you're gearing up to work with for a split or something, or a release or some sorts?
Nothing set up.
But like when you are in LA, because you live close to the Sound of Siren studio, right? Aren't you going in there like all the time?
In the studio?
Yeah.
Not all the time, but you know, lots. We do a lot of stuff there. Sure.
Right. Like, didn't it kind of change the way you approached kind of like recording and stuff, having your own stuff and like your own place and not be worried about, you know, being on the clock? Did you feel like a big shift?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a easier way to work. Not everybody can do that, but you know, we're very lucky to have it, and we're very lucky to have somebody as good as Tosh helping us.
Like, are there other bands who also recorded that studio, or like how is that?
Yes, you can book time at the studio. Yes.
Okay. You know, like you've been living in California now for like almost 2/3 of your life or something. Because it's funny because you talked about not having this big connection with Seattle, because people still kind of lump you in with this Pacific Northwest, but it's actually, when you think about it, how long you've been in California, you know. I guess it's also the grunge connection.
California way over half my life, yeah. So.
Right. But like, did you feel there was anything good about Montesano? Like the nature or anything?
I mean, that's okay, but I don't prefer it. It's not for me. I don't like the people. I don't like the weather. I don't like the environment as far as like any of that. I just don't like it.
Dale, he was from Aberdeen, not Montesano.
Yes.
Like,
that is true.
Does he hate it much as you do up there, or?
Well, he's not living there. I mean, I didn't have a good experience there. I have no reason to look back on it with anything other than disdain. I didn't like the people. I didn't like the environment. I didn't like the weather. I liked nothing about it. They didn't like me. I don't have good old days type of views of the whole thing. I don't. So,
right.
You know, those people can fuck off. They never helped me. All of them. Collective fuck you to every single person there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely sounds like it was a good move for you guys moving at the time, you know. Even though...
As far as I'm concerned, that was exactly what I needed to do.
you were kind of starting from scratch when you went down to San Francisco. I mean, you knew people down there, but like, or how did you feel
Yes,
that
we
was?
started over completely, and it was fine.
Yeah. See that like there were like a few months there back in the late 80s where you weren't touring that much, but yeah, then it picked up pretty quickly. So yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Mm. So can you tell me about like what kind of guitar you have out on tour with you now?
I have 2 acoustic guitars. They're called Bluefields, and they work really great. I bought them 10 years ago when I did my first acoustic tour. I like how they sound. I like how they play. They're not too big. They have a pickup in them that's really good. I can't think of anything else about them that I like.
Right. So these have been your main acoustic guitars like now for 10 years that you use?
No, I use a few different ones.
Okay.
But they're great. They're really good. I really enjoy them.
And you've been playing like the electric guitar company guitars for like 10, 15 years now. Like
yes, that's true.
Do you solely play those or?
What?
Do you solely play those or do you have other electric guitars that you use also or?
I have a lot of electric guitars. I use a lot of different ones in the studio. Those ones take a good beating live, so that's pretty much why I use them.
Mm.
And I think they play really great. There's no guitars that plays like those in the world. They're totally different.
So what? Tonight you're playing at the Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes.
Okay. Is it this like a classic Melvins track, like never more than a day in between shows? You know, you book it like you don't have a lot of days off usually when you go out on tour, or?
No, not a lot. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a good thing to do. It's a good way to do it for bands like us, you know?
I mean, the cities you're hitting now on this tour, that's similar to what kind of cities you would be hitting on a classic Melvins tour, or?
Yeah, it's similar.
Okay.
You know, not drawing as many people, but it's an odd thing we're doing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like, are the venues similar to what the Melvins would be playing?
Some of them are smaller. Like in a place like Chicago, we play a smaller venue than the Melvins would. But that's to be expected.
Mm-hmm. All right. And it's been going well so far, the tour?
Yeah. No complaints. We've done 19 shows. Tonight's our 20th show. So, yeah, so far so good. Looking forward to finishing the whole thing. It's
nice.
70 shows total.
Right.
But we're not playing Iceland.
Right. You don't think you'll be coming here anytime soon, or?
Well, we tried, but there's no money.
Right.
I would play Iceland, but we would lose money to play a show there.
Right. I mean,
so I can't be bothered to do that.
I mean, it's relatively easy to fly from Iceland to Europe to see shows, you know.
Yeah, good. That's good.
I mean, I saw you guys here. You played in 2004 with Phantomas.
Yes.
Was that the only time you've been here, or?
The only time I've been there.
Okay.
That's it. Melvins tried to play there, and there was just we would have lost money to do it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I just said no. I don't want to do it. I mean, it was not even worth flying into this. It would have cost us more to fly there, and it was during a European tour. I mean, we couldn't even land there and play a show without losing money.
Wow.
The extra added cost of playing the show there did not add up to how much we would make playing the show there. So
right.
I said no.
Right.
I can't afford to lose money. So.
Sure. I mean, it's great that you guys have an audience in Europe, that you're able to come over to Europe and play. That's awesome, you know.
Yeah, we're happy about that.
And just, I don't know, have you been consistently doing this stuff for all of these years, you know, like... It's a big inspiration also for creative people to see how you guys have conducted your business and your art, you know.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So, and just, yeah, I guess just thank you for your time. I really do appreciate that you take the time and do this. And
thank you.
Really do.
And maybe the tide will change and someday we'll play Iceland. All right.
Can't wait.
Take it easy and I will talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to see you in Europe. So.
Okay.
All the best, man. Bye.